What's up, guys? Yeah, it's quite early, but I want to try myself at a tier list on the newest map, on the newest patch. It is quite early, so again, you should take all my opinions with a grain of salt. I just thought it would be fun to maybe see if I understood how the game is going to evolve into and what kind of Pokemon, are going to shine on this new map and not after just 3 or 4 days of this new map being out. So again, we have a lane tier list, a jungle tier list, and let's start with the lane tier list, shall we? Because this map is like very base, I think a lot of like just strong when you want fighters. It has a lot about running around the map, right? Contesting a lot of farms. So there's a lot of Pokemon that I feel like are pretty bad right now because they just get stuck in lanes and it's just not the same as Remote Stadium. Because that was like much smaller of a map, right? This one is huge. Scoring is very important, and again, a lot of fighting is also very important. So let's start with the first one. We have Venusaur right here. I think Venusaur is still totally fine as well. I feel like on this map you always get to late game. You do get strong pretty fast as well. Doesn't matter if you play Solar Beam or Petidance. I think totally fine and solo queue to play. Has a lot of success, and I think it's totally still a good pick with both builds as well. Then we have Gengar. I mean, Gengar's weird, but I think on bot lane he can get experience quite fast and still get to his power spikes pretty early. And I think this map does suit him quite well, but I think the other map was still a bit easier, I think, for him as well when it comes to things. But honestly, I think in solo queue he's a solid A, and obviously in pre-mates he would be somewhere down here, right? But I mean, this tier list is like overall thing is always quite difficult to make. But I think he's a solid. I honestly B+. I think B+ is fair for Gengar in lane. Then we have Mr. Mime, instantly S tier. This Pokemon might be the best one right now. Absolutely broken over Pokemon. It's so ridiculous how strong Mr. Mime is. Snorlax, we have an A tier, I think. He's quite good on this map, I think. He's good at defending. He has good laning phase there as well. I think he's quite decent on this map. Gardevoir, I do not want to play Gardevoir on this map, I feel like. Absolutely terrible. This just doesn't suit Gardevoir at all. Especially in lane phase. Again, this is for laning. In central jungle, it will be a bit higher. But in laning phase, I never want to have a Rides on this team. I already had people who played Gardevoir on top lane, where there's no experience there, and there's going to be a Rides for the entire match. But yeah, bot lane is okay. But then again, very bad at 1v1ing a lot of Pokemon. It can't really push. It can't score, right? It's quite difficult for Gardevoir to exist on the current patch. Absol, I think, is still very good. Again, Absol fits this map perfectly, right? You can run around a lot. You can look for a lot of skirmishes, 1v1s. So Absol perfectly suited for this map. Garchomp, gonna drop down for now in lane. Yeah. He got a big nerf as well from the Unite move changes. He doesn't gain attack speed anymore after Unite moving, which is a huge nerf for Garchomp. So they have to give him something back, I feel like. Lucario is still easily A+, maybe even S tier, but I dropped him down into A+ tier because I think it's a bit more fair overall. Crustle goes back into the very bad tier, I think, but he's pretty good on this map again. It's all about scoring, right? So he does fit this map, but now with the crit nerfs as well again. Actually, I think B+ is still better. I think, because the map is about a lot of scoring as well, you can maybe play some sort of cheeky score Crustle, but yeah, nothing too amazing, I have to sadly say. Greninja, the same as the old maps, just you don't want to have this Pokemon in lane. I think attackers in general, lane attackers are terrible now. Except for Mew, which we will talk over in a second, and some others, but I do not like this whatsoever. But I mean, it's okay, there's a lot of farm on this map, so these Pokemon can come back into the match, right? Eventually, maybe. But I feel like others are just much better. Talonflame, I'm actually going to bump him up to B+ tier. I think he can lane on this map. Again, suits him quite well. But he still is missing a few things to be, back to a very good Pokemon. Charizard in lane. I mean, I think it's okay. I still rather have I'm going to be honest, I'd rather have a Charizard as a lane thingy, because I think he's just better wall across the entire game still than a lane Greninja, because his Unite move is still very good, even though his Unite move changes, got nerfed him also pretty hard. His Unite move always gets value eventually and can pick out a target quite easily. Zeraora, I'm not a fan of, but I think B tier is still totally fine for this Pokemon in lane. I just don't like this Pokemon. Xerneas goes into C tier. Then we have Eldegoss. I think Eldegoss is okay on this map. Nothing too crazy. I mean, now we have Mr. Mime as well, who's just a better support as well again. I always have Eldegoss in A tier, which I think is always pretty fair, because I think this Pokemon is very undervalued. But yeah, somehow always gets bumped on by other things. Cramorant, I think, is still quite fine as well. Even after the nerfs, I still think he is. I mean, the nerfs are justified, right? He was very strong. So still think he is pretty good. Blastoise, I really don't like him too much right now in lane. Gonna to B+ tier. Pikachu's alright. Pikachu can just be fine because he can always have Void Tackle and just support someone, right? So Pikachu is not someone that relies on experience. He can just defend something, help out his teammates. He's a pretty good support attacker, and he does his job quite well. I think Ninetales I really don't like on this map whatsoever. I really do not. Would ever want to play Ninetales on this new map for now, I think. I don't think there's any reason to. Again, the map is just way too large for these Pokemon, I think. Yeah. That's why I wish there was like a map rotation, if we have both maps rotating out or like in the same pool, so we queue up and we will get one of the maps. So because the meta is going to be very bad for, I feel like, lane attackers now. They're going to have a big struggle. Wigglytuff I think is fine on this patch. I think B+ is okay for Wigglytuff again as well. Can be played, can maybe be higher, but I think somewhere here is totally reasonable. Slowbro is alright on this map. Nothing too crazy either, but still pretty good Pokemon. I had Mr. Mime and Slowbro is also very fun to play together. Machamp, solid A+ still, even after the nerfs. Still very good Pokemon. It is very good in 1v1s, can farm a lot on this map. And very independent Pokemon. Independent Pokemon so it's going to be very good on this map. I think Mamoswine solid B+ tier. And we have Sylveon, which I think is probably the best lane attacker on this map. You can also maybe, like, Sylveon might find more popularity again due to, you know, the jungle has so much experience that if you can share jungle with someone, you get level 4 so fast. And Hyper Voice can contest a lot of farm, right? Hyper Voice is very strong at just farming the map empty and killing things on cooldown, so I think Sylveon is very good on this map. Greedent as well is very good on this map. Yeah, scoring and running around. What is Greedent best at? Scoring and running around, isn't it? Decidueye, don't play this lane in this map. Please just don't. Blissey, I mean, I still think Blissey's S tier. I don't know. Pokemon is broken. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Then we have Serena, solid A+ tier as well, I would say. Dragonite in lane. I think Dragonite on this map is better in lane than he was on the old map. So I'm just going to bump him up to, I think it's still B tier though. I'm going to put him out of the last tier though. But again, I mean, it's the similar issues he has across the game as well. I think Aegislash fits into a solid A tier. Then we have Trevenant, which is very strong on this map as well, I feel like. Super good Pokemon. I think still probably the best defender when it comes to actually defenders. So I'm going to put it into A+ tier. Again, a lot of fighting, low 1v1ing, right? Trevenant is very good at that as well. Duraludon I'm going to drop down to B+ tier because I think like his laning phase is quite fine, but again, like what does Flash Cannon do in this map? People just run around and ignore you, right? They don't have to fight into you necessarily. Teamfights are so spread out from top to bot lane that he doesn't really find value. Hoopa I'm dropping down to A+ tier for now. Yeah. I think so. Hoopa on this map, they got a small nerf on the hyperspace portal. The base now heals a bit less. And now you have even more support, so I think Hoopa is just going to drop down to A+ tier for now, which is also still very good, of course. Azumarill I think is fine on this map. I think B+ is still, I wouldn't want to put Azumarill higher than B+ in lane. Espeon in lane is fine, but again, similar struggle to the other things where the map is just very volatile for range attackers, as you can see. Delphox can go Flame Charge. Well, I think Delphox in general is just a very strong Pokemon still, it doesn't matter what. Also, if you're able to pick up a blue buff, you're absolutely insane. Glaceon, I think solid A in lane as well. I think Jungle's going to be much higher, but laning phase, this is totally fine. Buzzhole is the absolute garbage. Sorry. I have a Buzzhole video coming out as well soon. You can watch me play some Buzzhole. It didn't look too bad, but overall, I wouldn't recommend playing this Pokemon. Still very weak. I think he just needs to be able to get Muscle Gauge against wild Pokemon, and then he probably has a chance. Tyranitar laning phase is alright. The thing is just like this Pokemon is so broken when it comes to late game that as soon as you get to late game, you still win games. His laning phase is just absolutely awful. But as a jungler on this map, he's very strong. But just because his laning phase is so bad, I'm still going to put him B+ in laning phase. But yeah, his late game is absolutely insane. And then we come to the last one, Mew. Honestly, I'm going to put Mew into S tier. Mew is the only attacker I think that is very good on this map to play. Insanely strong laning phase, is always good early mid-late game. But obviously, it does rely on teammates, right? But we see Mew being played by all like good 5 stacks as well. So that's the lane tier list for now. I'm not sure if how much I like this yet. I mean, this is take everything with a grain of salt. This is just what I think right now. And how I feel about Pokemon being played. I think some might be a bit questionable. Like I think Zeraora could probably be up here if I put out like Azumarill, and Zeraora probably should be in the same tier, I feel like. So maybe I should shop this around as well still. I think Zeraora maybe deserves to be into B+ instead. But yeah, it is quite difficult. it is quite difficult. Or like, you know, dude, actually, I think this is probably more fair. Putting Zoro into B+ tier and Azuma into B tier. This is like the all these are rounders in here. But they're always still pretty good as well. Like you can play them totally. Of course, the map is still a lot to figure out. Like Garchomp. Honestly, I'm gonna switch Garchomp and I mean, Garchomp's still good enough. I'm gonna put Espeon into B. Let me see if there's something else I want to change. Espeon in lane is still very good, but again, struggles on this map as well. I would rather play it as a jungler, because as a jungler you always have blue buff, which means your fighting power is actually much more. But yeah, I think this looks fine. I think I'm still I'm not happy with this when I look at it, but yeah. I feel like all these arounders down here just maybe should be higher. We'll see, let me know what you think, guys. Again, this is not my final thoughts. Gonna have another tier list in like 1 or 2 weeks after, you know, I've concluded more conclusions. So that's it for the lane tier list. And now we head over to the jungle tier list. Because jungle as well. Jungle is just so broken. I feel like I can put almost any Pokemon to S tier, and they're gonna be very strong. Venusaur, absolutely love playing jungle Venusaur. Also have a video coming out about Solar Beam Venusaur jungle, which is might be my favorite things this patch so far. I don't know if it's the best, but it honestly felt hilarious. You have a 3-second cooldown, Hyper Beam at level 13, and it's just incredibly fun to play. But is it better than other junglers? Not sure. I think Gengar still is absolutely a menace on this map when it comes to jungling. There's so many bushes on this map that you can just hide in. It's a lot of round, you know, he's very good at running around the map, killing stuff. So there's a lot of small fights where Gengar shines in. So I really like Gengar on this map. I mean, Mr. Mime can in theory jungle, but it's a waste, right? Like, we shouldn't put Mr. Mime into the jungle. But in theory, he could honestly probably be a fine jungler. Gardevoir, yeah, I just don't like Gardevoir on this map at all. I really just don't. So put it into B tier. Absol, I think, is easily S tier on this map as well. Or actually, no, A+. Let's put it A+. Probably a bit more fair. Edigo's Absol very good in jungle too. Garchomp, again, Garchomp just... they have to do something about his Unite move, give him attack speed or something again. But yeah, I think B+ is still okay. Nothing too crazy. I think Greninja's also very strong on this map from what I've played so far. Yeah, this character is just super strong on this map, I would say. Gonna put it into... I mean, maybe, I don't know, Gengar being an S tier, I don't know if that's deserving if I put, you know, these two into A+ tier. So maybe this is more fair. And we're gonna keep S tier for the absolute broken Pokemons, right? So maybe that's better. Talonflame, I think, is very good on this map as well. He's coming slowly back. Fly Flame Charge is very good and does a lot of value. I think Charizard is also very strong on this map. Hard to judge. Actually, I would put Venusaur maybe into lower B tier. Charizard is somewhere between here. I do think he's good on this map even after the Night Move nerfs. I don't know why, but he seems very good on this map. I don't even know. I'm not even sure why and how, but every time there's a Charizard jungle, it feels like they do a lot. I always saw him played in tournaments as well on this map in jungle, so there's something behind it. I think Zoro is also pretty reasonable, because on this map you get level 8 so fast, right, that you actually get this charge super early. There's so much jungle experience on this map that you just skyrocket to your power spikes as Aura as well. But I don't want to put him higher yet. Cinderace, also very strong still. Cramorant, I think drops down a bit, but he's also still very good. Can totally be played without any worries. Blastoise jungle, I mean, honestly, it's probably okay. Here as well, again, you reach your power spikes super fast. Machamp jungle, I mean, I played Machamp jungle. Honestly, it felt pretty good with the blue buff as well and running around. You're getting a lot of ganks done. And overall, it feels pretty decent. Decidueye, I just don't think those Pokemon fit this map whatsoever. I really just don't. I just don't think they fit this map as a jungler, these kind of Pokemon. They're too, like, team reliant, and this map doesn't really have a lot of team play going on. So, yeah. Dragonite, I would still think is pretty decent as well. I'm gonna put them into A+ tier. Duraludon, I think solid A as well. What else do we have? Espeon. Espeon again still. Yeah, Chris, you made it. This is broken video. Why is it not S tier? Yes, yeah. Good. I mean, yeah, you got me there, I guess. Should be putting it at S tier if I say this is broken, right? Alright, next up we have Sarina. Sarina Jung is also totally good on this map. Get your power spikes so insanely fast. It's absolutely crazy. Who do we put in S tier? Maybe Glaceon? Glaceon seems absolutely crazy right now. Again, still, with the Icy Wind bit as well. and it's played a lot. Tyranitar, honestly, I still want to put Tyranitar in S tier. I don't know why, if that's fair or not, but man, this Pokemon is just... This Pokemon is something, right? It is really just something, and I just can't. His late game, he's just unkillable. And with Mr. Mime, if he has a Mr. Mime attached, you can't kill this Pokemon. He just runs around, kills everything. And also, he counters Rayquaza shields. If you walk up and try and score, if he has his true damage up, you can't score, you get always interrupted. So even if he has another defense tool on this map as well, you can't score against him. It literally does not work. It is absolutely crazy. Egg/Jungle, I think, is also very good on this map, with blue buff as well. You have so many white guards up. The cooldown reduction buff is just absolutely insane, by the way. The cooldown reduction buff on blue, I don't know why they buff Jungle. I really can't tell you, but it's ridiculous. Delphox, honestly, as well, A+ tier. So you see, like, I feel like you can pick any of these Pokemon up here and just perform very well. That's how I always feel about jungling, right? Jungling is overpowered. All of these Pokemon can do very, very well, and you can totally play them without any issues. Azumarill, I think, goes into B+ here. I think it's also quite good. Buzzhole, I mean, as a jungler, he's actually quite good, right? Like, if you get... He can snowball games. The problem is just his late game. His late game is just so weak, but his early game is very, very good. And he's one of the strongest level 5 Pokemon, right? With the superpower damage on level 5 is absolutely ridiculous. So he does have a chance there as well, you know, to be part of the meta in jungle. Besides that, I think that's kind of it. I mean, Lucario jungle, you could be playing it. It's honestly not too bad either. And besides that, I mean, we have here Mr. Mime, Snorlax, right? Like, you don't want to jungle with these Pokemon. I mean, Mew can counter jungle, but I wouldn't put Mew into the jungle itself. Just doesn't do enough damage. So, yeah, Ninetales in theory can be a jungler, but not on this map either. So, yeah, the rest is right here. I mean, Sylveon, I still wouldn't put Sylveon in the jungle. Like, Sylveon is someone who can take one buff, right? Get level 4 and then lane afterwards for the entire rest of the match. That's how you should play Sylveon. And that's how it's always been played. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this tier list. Let me know what you think about it. Again, very early on. Let me know which ones you disagree with the most, and that would be very interesting to know. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.